Warning: if the topic of psychological manipulation and emotional enslavement of women offends you, I want you to stop watching this video. And if you want to continue, you must agree never to use this knowledge to hurt women. Deal? Great. Let's start. When my girlfriend dumped me and then proceeded to humiliate me by posting about my small hands on Facebook, I was left scratching my head trying to figure out why. To get her back, I tried all of the lame pickup artist tricks, but none of them made the slightest difference. After a lot of searching, I eventually discovered a very secretive mind control technique which I'm going to share with you in this video. Anyway, there's a happy ending to my story, because by using mind control, I was able to get her crawling to me on her knees, begging me to take her back. Of course, I took her back for about a week just to dump her. Revenge never felt so fucking good. I'll kid you not. I'll share with you what I discovered and how you can do the same with great results. But before we start, help me out. Click on the like button below because that will encourage me to create even more of these videos for you. Done that? Great. Let's start. So what did I do to turn into a seduction stud then? Well, here's what happened, so pay close attention. You see, I met a guy named Derek Rake, the founder of possibly the online legitimate mind control based seduction method around, known as the Shogun method. Different from pickup artist stuff, a mind control system like the Shogun method has a very specific end game in mind, and it is this: to make a woman emotionally addicted to you by enslaving her. In reality, enslavement is absolutely essential to make a woman stay in love with you. This is what I was missing in my relationship. And once I had gotten that sorted out, then all my problems with women went away. Poof, just like that. Anyhow, don't let the negative connotations with the word enslavement put you off. We're talking about emotional enslavement here, not physical. So how does mind control enslavement work? Well, enslavement requires you to build an emotional barrier which separates you and your target from anyone who might interfere in your relationship. Basically, you need to segregate her from the outside world. I used what Derek refers to as a segregation tactic in order to see results. My technique of choice was known as the shared experiences technique, which by itself is a really powerful mind control tactic. So here's how the shared experiences mind control routine works. To enslave her, all I needed to do was deliberately introduce experiences which only me and her shared, whether those experiences be good or bad. You see, it is human nature to form strong bonds with those we share intimate moments with, whether they be picnic dates ruined by rainfall or being stranded in the countryside with a flat tire. Even though they might feel problematic at the time, on reflection, they are moments which couples remember more fondly than idyllic dates. I introduced several of these, and within a week, my ex-girlfriend soon came running back to me. Since then, I have continued to introduce further segregation tactics in order to strengthen her emotional connection to me. Now let's talk about another mind control seduction technique. Shared secrets is a tactic similar to shared experiences and uses the notion of only you and me know this in order to strengthen the bond between you. It encourages a sense of togetherness within the relationship and reduces the influence of outsiders. On a side note, this also works well as a boyfriend destroyer technique because it isolates her from her boyfriend and makes her feel distant from him. The role reversal is another segregation tactic based on mind control. This technique introduces an element of unpredictability into the relationship to prevent it feeling stale. So this is what you do. You basically need to subtly imply you're interested in other women. You can do this by looking uninterested, not really focusing on her, and letting your eyes wander around the room at regular intervals, for example. I like to use these segregation tactics together with fractionation, which by itself is a killer mind control technique which is known to turn an otherwise feisty woman into a docile puppy yearning for your love. Fractionation exploits a well-known weakness inside a woman's mind which makes her vulnerable to guys who bring her through emotional roller coasters. It's really quite powerful and will blow your mind even if you're new to mind control tactics. With these three segregation tactics as well as fractionation, I've been able to attract, seduce, and enslave multiple women in the time that I had immersed myself in mind control. and particularly the Shogun method. I'm living the life like a rock star now thanks to Derek. Look, I admit these techniques are manipulative, but I had to choose between being an honest loser or a successful manipulator. I chose the latter, and I'm much happier for it. I've been accused of being a real son of a bitch with zero ethics and low morals, but who the fuck cares? I'm getting all the women that I want, and most importantly, they are happy with me. And we all have got mind control to thank. When used correctly, fractionation can get a woman under your control, enslave her, and make her fall in love with you far quicker than the usual pickup artist tricks. I have to warn you, though, that it is not possible to undo the effects of fractionation. Once you have enslaved a woman using this technique, dumping her will cause irreparable damage to her psychology. Therefore, please use this technique responsibly and ethically. To learn how you can use the Shogun method and fractionation to manipulate a woman's mind and enslave her to you emotionally, go to fractionationhypnosis.com or click on this link right now.